lanes, staying to your man, recovering if you get beat, and just making the most of possibilities of getting into fast breaks. And that is one play. As you see them set up Vic Manuel, they normally would do that start of the quarter. They set up a cross screen for Vic Manuel for him to dominate on that side of the floor, because he's pretty much been unstoppable every time he's on that side and that close to the rim.
Silang lima pa rin ang pagkakasama sa loob, no? As you see the quarter scoring. First quarter, 11-10, 24-6 in the second, and then here the third. Outscoring Abra by 1 are the Heatwaves, and then Vic Manuel scoring from the baseline at may foul pang kasama, bonus free throw coming up.
And yung sa pagkakataon na yun, if you're gonna tie that up to the stat that was presented earlier, the reason that humahabol itong Pangasinan Heatwaves kasi hindi na naging ganun kaganda ang naging scoring para dito sa Heatwaves in the third quarter. You'd like to think that they would continue to pound and pounce on the defense of the Heatwaves, but once those other guys came in for the Weavers, nagbago yung energy, tumaas naman yung kumpiyansa nitong Heatwaves, kaya kahit paano maganda ang scoring para sa Pangasinan.
Ildefonso, Brickman, Batino, Gio Chu, and Mike Ayonayon on the floor for the Weavers. Batino, jumper, good.
And every time you've got a guy down on the low block in Dave Ildefonso, that commands a lot of attention.
Isang magandang ginawa ng Pangasinan here in the second half, Coach Mike, is they only had 6 assists in the first half. In the third quarter, they had 8. And yung unit na ito, ang gumagana so far para kay Coach Gerson Cabildes.
Yes, tsaka maganda na nagsisimula sa depensa. Ito na yung post-up na sinasabi natin. Match-up, help on that side of the floor, left Batino on that elbow, just an easy pass for Dave Ildefonso. It's easy for Dave because 1, there's a smaller guy, Mike De Gregorio, defending him on the post. 2, Batino's defender came in to help, and that was just a quick release for Dave to the open hands of Batino.
Ralph Robin inside, Maguliano getting it over Gio Chu.
And with the Heatwaves connecting in assists and making those shot attempts, it shows you, man, the camaraderie is back, and we know we're in a good spot despite being down by 12.
De Gregorio again coming away with a steal. Just putting the clamps on DI. Melencio one-on-one against Dave. Melencio draws a foul against Ildefonso.
And that's just his own version of being a veteran, itong si Ian Melencio. We saw that defense earlier. Ito yung drive kanina ni Ralph Robin, to which he found JP Maguliano on that side of the floor. Really good action between those two. And samantalang ito, nakita nga natin si Ian Melencio, sinubukang exploit yung little bit of a mismatch because it was outside of the shaded area. Kahit papano speed-wise, may advantage siya a little bit against Dave.
Yung depensa ni Mike De Gregorio, Coach Mike. Remember, Ildefonso has yet to have a game where he ended up single figures in scoring. Lahat at least 10 points.
Tama.
Right now, he only has 5 points on 1 of 11 shooting from the field.
Hindi, tsaka ang ganda nung pinoint out mo, Ken, na yung assist talagang nag-ramp up in the third quarter para dito sa Heatwaves at nagsisimula sa depensa.
Baba na rin sa 10 ang lamang. Pull-up jumper by Ayonayon. No. Gio Chu cleans it up. Nobody putting a body on him on that rebounding battle.
That one's called an MBO, or a missed box out by the Heatwaves. Nobody checking on Gio Chu. Man that big, you gotta check on him.
Manuel Mintes. Mike Ayonayon comes away with a rebound. The pass, Ildefonso in traffic, lays it in.
And Vic Manuel is asking for a sub. The guy is gassed.
Last meeting nila, Coach Mike, was 5 months ago. Dito rin sa Banggit Abra. We covered that game. Abra beating Pangasinan 75-68.
And this is totally a different Heatwaves team that the Abra Weavers are going up against. But I guess you could also say the same for the Weavers, because that was a game na wala pang Jason Brigman doon, if I recall correctly, and you had CJ Austria who was checking on Vic Manuel, which eventually he became the best player of that game. And Ralph Robin, he's been just really good in his own little contribution so far for Coach Gerson and the Heatwaves.
Pinabuelo nila si Mike Ayon. Nayon, Brickman, Mintes, Gio Chu, another offensive rebound, and put back.
I was gonna say, shooting guard so far in the playoffs for the Weavers and Jason Brickman. Medyo na-late yung depensa na yun ni Hesed. Pero for the Weavers, thankfully, offensive rebound and put back by Gio Chu.
Saka naiwan din si JP Maguliano. He gambled on the steal. He makes up for it with a floater of his own.
Ganda rin ang counter na ito. Kung gagamitin mo na screen and screen guy itong si JP Maguliano, naka-drop coverage yung kanyang mabantay. In that instance, happens to be Gio Chu. It's a floater. Any which way you put it, that would be available for JP.
Gio Chu again. Down it, plus a foul. 6 points. All coming in this quarter for Gio Chu.
And once again, who's had that ball on his hands to make that decision? You got Jason Brickman. And that time, really just left it over, tried to find that read, trying to go for a little short action again, involving that third man in Gio Chu, probably to hit itong si Batino, who was the primary roller, pero no need, kaya nang tapusin ni Gio Chu.
His parents are here, Gio Chu. Meanwhile, let's go to Mika.
I talked to the young bigs of Abra, no? Gio Chu and Raven Gonzalez talked about despite being young, they know the front line of Pangasinan will be challenging. They probably have the age and experience of Manuel, Napoles, Collado. Sabi nila si Vic, nakita naman natin, no? Still makes a lot of post shots. He's very patient. Jay also talked about how Ryan Batino and Mark Yee have been supportive in terms of teaching him the real MPBL game. He said, I am very lucky. Our experienced bigs are not intimidating. I am learning a lot. Ken, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. And he has showed here, Gio Chu. He's like a sponge, Coach Mike, no? Na alam niya, ang dami pang kailangan ma-figure out in terms of him being a dominant big man here. And he could learn a thing or two from this guy, Ryan Batino, who gets the offensive rebound and puts it back in. Mark Yee as well, a former champion at the expense of Coach Gerson when he was with Basilan. Then went on and beat San Juan. Vic Manuel puts in the free from the right corner.
Well, and Vic Manuel continues to find the range from the outside. He pretty much has made threes that, you know, settled down his voice and stopped a little bit yung rhythm para dito sa Weavers. But now on their end, you gotta get another stop if you're the Weavers.
Bounce pass. Deflected. Ball will stay with Abra. 5:20 left in the fourth.
And to that report about Gio Chu, I do love as you see this feed on that corner. Again, it was a long run for Batino only because they were drop coveraging against Vic Manuel. Eh pag binabantayan mo sa Vic, mamimili ka talaga. Drop coverage ba o i-attach mo yung sarili mo sa kanya.
Batino sa loob. Bola na tapik palabas ni Ian Melencio. 3.3 seconds left sa shot clock ng Abra.
Kung wala yung sipag at energy ni Ian Melencio, hindi mangyayari yung tapik na yun. But only because he saw that ball was coming in on my side, he had to dig in.
Gio Chu flips it up. The tip from David Defonso. Who now has 9. 66-50. Manuel. Shot fake.
Favorite move.
Gets that one to trickle in.
Oh, that's one of the patented moves of Vic Manuel, leaving that ball on the left hand, on the left side of the floor, and then spinning right for that straight up floater. And it's been tough to stop that.
Gregorio just all over Dave. Brickman against Ian Melencio. Jason Brickman drives. Kicks it out. Three-pointer. Good from Mike Ayon.
And that time, they used a lot of clock and they did very well offensively. Itong Weavers, they were very patient. Everybody knew where everybody was and everybody understood and comprehended where that point of attack is gonna be for the Weavers.
Mike Ayon coming away with a rejection, doing it on both sides of the floor.
Well, this really started with that drive by Jason Brickman. You know, baseline drive, baseline drift, very basic. But then again, even before that action, makikita mo talaga yung galawan ni Jason Brickman that has allowed these other guys to, get a little bit of a spotlight. Sabi mo nga kanina, hindi masyado nakakapag-contribute early in the game si David Defonso, but because Jason Brigman did his thing, we are where we are right now.
Catch and shoot, wala. Maguliano, mintis pa din. Nasa ilalim, Ian Melencio.
Oh, ba?
Got fouled.
It's gonna be a wonder if at this point of the game, in game number 1 of the North Division Finals, where we've been talking about Giants, that you leave out the conversation about this little guy right here on the floor in Ian Melencio. Ian Melencio has played his heart out for the Heatwaves.
Ang free throw na ito, it's atin Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
He's not getting shot blocks. He's not getting anything fancy. He's just playing defense. And when he gets that ball, he understands I'm going to have runners the other end. And if we don't have anything, I'll try to figure out a way to score by myself.
6 points, but 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals from Ian Melencio. Under 4 minutes left, still a 15-point cushion by Abra. Ayo na yun.
Oh, man.
Nice pass. Patino able to slide in and score.
The space, the man, and the ball movement have been on point for the Weavers. At least for the 3 last possessions that we've seen, including this one, they've done everything in different ways.
Gonzalez swats that ball away. Second rejection by Raven Gonzalez. Irvin Flores replacing Vic Manuel, and then Simon Camacho pinaltan din. Itong si Ryan Patino. Maguliano, supal pa, linabot kay Raven Gonzalez. Third block in total for Raven Gonzalez. Approaching the 3-minute mark of the 4th. Turnaround jumper, Ildefonso, no good. Camacho with offensive board. Abra will reset their offense. Under 3 minutes left. Mike. Flip shot is good from Simon Camacho.
A lot of very, very fundamentally sound action by the Weavers. That time around, every time you've got a dribbler and a ball handler that drives on that baseline and he gets under the goal, you want a teammate to be right in front of the rim, because that guy, for the most part, is not going to be seen, is not going to be defended.
One review, the challenge was successful.
Successful challenge by Coach Yong. It went off Ralph Robin after Camacho poked it free. Ayun.
Yeah. Well, it was a hard show on Simon Camacho. I feel he was really intending to just show and then recover to the defense. His primary man being JP Maguliano.
Lowest output by Pangasinan. 66 points this season. Ralph Robin scores. They now have 56. But time definitely not on their side, as Abra still ahead by 17.
But if there's one thing that Coach Jerson definitely is gonna talk about as they plan for game number 2, still here in Abra, is that, hey guys, we played a good second half. If we did that in the first, this would be a closer game than as it was in the halftime.
Isang pansin-pansin dito, Coach Mike, halos di na ginamit ni Coach Gerson. Sila Alin Bulanadi,
Yes,
Joey Napoles, as Taiwan lays it in.
Well, even Hesed Gabo didn't get so many minutes relative to one. The importance of this game for Pangasinan, and only because guys like Mike, Ian, and as well as Ralph have done a stellar job of keeping in pace against the Weavers.
Ildefonso continues his streak.
Played in the playoffs, is averaging roughly.
Type air conditioners.
At kahit na hindi ganun kaganda, yung nga na na-mention mo kanina yung field goal percentage para dito kay David Defonso, to which overall in the past, the previous 4 games that he's played in the playoffs, is averaging roughly about 32% shooting from the field. Well, if he's not hurting you in scoring, he's doing it in other stuff, like assists. He's got a total of 16 assists in those 4 games that he's played. And so, really, hindi pinupuwersa, ika nga. Kung kung hindi makashoot, at wala yung shot, tutulong tayo sa ibang paraan itong kay David Leponcio.
Coach Mike, in a game where arguably Abra wasn't at their best, what was the main difference here in enabling them to get this win here in game number 1?
Well, I feel the Abra Weavers, yung simula na yon, might be a one-off. Maaring yan gigil lang na gusto makabalik agad and want to dominate very early. It's a good thing that Jason Brickman happened in the second quarter and really steadied the ship. Because imagine if Jason Brickman did not do that, then it would have been a much closer first half for the Heatwaves. And had Coach Gerson seen the kind of commitment and discipline of these 5 on the floor the Heatwaves have played here in the second half, then it would have been a different story in the first half.
They have been the best defensive team in these playoffs, itong Abra Solid North Weavers. In terms of points they gave up, napakababa, lalo dito, 57 pa lang itong Pangasinan.
And one other thing that I'm sure the Heatwaves are going to look at as they, in retrospect, review this game, what did they not do well, especially in the first half? Because this is the first time in the play-ins and in the playoffs that they actually trail a series.
But let's not forget, game number 2, they got blown out by San Juan, trailed by as many as 36 points.
Yes.
But close it out in game number 3. Obviously, Abra, different team, also different situation. This is game number 1. And they're also gonna be playing in game number 2 here in Bangen. They will stay here. They will have to prepare for less than 48 hours.
Yes.
But make no mistake about it, the Abra Solid North Weavers gutting it out in a game where they were tested early, Coach Mike, but able to persevere and pull through. Best player of the game is powered by 747 Live. Play what you love, win what you deserve. Final score, 77 for the Abra Solid North Weavers, 58 para naman sa Pangasinan Heatwaves. Abra now leads 1-0 in this best of 5 series against Pangasinan. Game number 2, just a couple of days away. Meanwhile, Mika is with Jason Brickman.